Okay, I'm filming for Caitlin now. So say good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I got my whole setup here.
Good morning.
I'm gonna do some jelly printing. So I just have a bunch of different colors that I thought would look nice together. And I'm gonna put a little bit on my printing plate. I like to kind of do a background color that looks a little more interesting. You don't want to add too much paint on, although if you do, it's not really that big of a deal, but I just kind of like to try to have some different colors going. No, it's fine.
No, it's not.
I checked it. I checked it. Let's see.
Hi.
Okay, watch out. So once I have my colors that I picked on there, I like to use a brayer and just kind of roll it across like this. And they do kind of blend, and depending on how hard I push and everything, I can, you know, change directions or whatever. But I always think this looks kind of cool. And then I like to have a little... That was Amy. And then I like to have a little, this is just...
Whoa, look at the thing.
I know, it looks cool.
Green. Look at it, it's so sparkly
I
too.
know, yeah. So this is just slick paper from like the kitchen. So I can set my brayer down. And then I'm going to take my paper and I kind of bend it like a U shape and set it down in the middle. And then I'm just going to rub it. Now you can add patterns and stuff, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, go ahead, Amy. Okay. Yep. Do it. All right. And then we peel it off, and there it is. So now this one, I can do this one again, and it'll give me a ghost image, is what it's called, a ghost image. So you just stick a second one on, and then you rub it. Go ahead, Amy. Okay, and then we'll peel it off. And so it looks very similar to the first one, but you can see it's a lighter image, and it's not quite as solid of an image, which is why it's called the ghost print. So then...
And this jelly thingy is all, like, most of the paint is all the way off.
Yeah, most of the paint's all the way off. Now for me, like, you can clean off your brayer in between each one, and it just kind of depends on what you want to do. But I'm going to try to... I've never used this stuff before, but I want to try some. It's a transparent mix, because I want to do some stuff with a little bit of transparency things. I got this, Amy. I got this. And I'm going to do a little bit of yellow.
Ooh, light yellow.
And maybe... Yeah, I think I'll just do that. Okay, and then I'm going to use this little plastic thing at an angle to kind of like mix it a little bit so it's a little bit more mixed in.
Mixy.
I think I'm going to add a little bit more transparent stuff.
More white.
Well, it's a transparent medium, so it'll be transparent when it dries. So hopefully it'll be a yellowy tint. Okay, don't use anything sharp or pointy on this, or it will, or it'll break. Okay, you need to give me a little bit of space, kiddo. Thank you. And then you're gonna roll around again. So this is the part where jelly printing, you can overlap stuff. But you want to kind of do, you can have a few different options for stuff.
I have no idea why I said nom nom.
I don't know, kiddo. So you can just, you can stick stuff on here like this.
Cool.
And that will, and you can just leave it on there and you can print over the top of it. So like, I'm just going to take a few more things like this.
What are the circles for?
They're just because I want to add on some more visual interest. So I'm adding on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll go with that. So I'm just adding on some more visual interest, Amy. Yeah. So these areas where I stuck these little, basically these are like resisted areas. So like it's not going to print where these little thingies are.
Except, like, what about the yellow? Will it have a yellow?
Well, where these are, it's not going to print. So now that this has been sitting for a minute, it's mostly dry because it's acrylic paint. So now I'm just going to do the little U shape again, and I'm going to rub it. And then when I peel it up, wee.
Can I rub it?
Yeah, rub it. Rub it, rub it, rub it. Okay. Now when I peel it up, it leaves an imprint of like the background shows really well right before where all that stuff is, right? So
same idea, yeah.
now I can peel these off and I can use this stuff again. Just don't use a pokey thing to pick these up because like you don't want to injure the
Yeah, I actually got that one like right
gel
at the very
plate.
beginning, almost by
What?
accident, 'cause I was just like, I'm just gonna
Well,
grab the
if you
broom
use
and
a
take
sharp
it, and she
thing, then
saw
you're
me
going to
grab it,
injure the
so
gel
she
plate and you don't want
took
to
all
make
of
like
it
a
and
crease
just
in it.
right into a little tug of war.
Injure means to hurt it. So like I don't want to hurt this.
How come it looks like there's some dents there?
Where?
Like where all the circles are.
Oh yeah, the texture is because the paper was kind of thick that I was using because I was using Bristol board. So it has a thickness to it. So that's where the paint kind of squished around it. It makes a really cool pattern. So I'm gonna peel all these off. And then I think the ghost print for this one will look pretty awesome. So I think I'm gonna do it on a special paper. Wee. Okay.
A special paper?
Yeah, like I think I'm gonna use one of my other papers instead of just my, because I have my one paper that I was using for my ghost image, but I think this ghost image is gonna be extra cool. So I think I want to add a different color on. Okay.
Not just yellow.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do that on
I think black would be cool.
this paper right here.
Gonna add
Okay,
on
so
a
I have a
different
different kind of paper. So I'm gonna stick this on here and rub it and get the ghost image transferred. Beep, 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 beep. 'Cause I think it'll look cool.
I'm gonna add like a different color.
So like that's the ghost transfer from this one. So it's got a little bit of the first thing and a little bit of the second thing. And I think it looks kind of neat, but you can see how like you can just continue to layer and layer and layer and layer. And especially if you use the transparent ink, the more you layer, the more you can do with it. Since I'm using acrylics instead of ink, it does start to dry out. So you do need to like wipe it off from time to time. So I'm gonna do a dark green layer. I'm just gonna add some more. So I can show you one of the other things that I like to
Did you
do.
hear the broom thingy?
Break the fancy vase, help the woman dress up the bust.
Dress up the butt.
It's like a,
It's like a head
picture.
statue.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's gonna be
Spit out his tea,
not a see-through. I'm not gonna put the transparent medium in.
make the
And I'm gonna mix it a little bit more. But then I'm gonna draw on it with my little rubby tool. Whee!
Were you talking about this tool or this tool?
I wasn't
think I got any of
actually.
them.
I don't know. Amy, just watch and see what I do, and then we'll. Okay. So what I think I'm gonna do, I know. So I can still kind of see my
Did you hide it?
circles from earlier. So I'm actually gonna use them as a pattern, and I'm gonna take this little tool that's like really floppy on the end, so it's not stiff in any way, and I can like draw in this and remove some of the paint, and
Is that the
yeah.
one?
So when I print this, where I've drawn, this is like a monoprint technique because it's not going to be the same every time. But I mean, I guess if you're layering and everything anyway, it's already a monoprint. So, but it's kind of fun to just kind of mess around and see what you can make. Now, if it starts to get dry, then you want to clean it off with a paper towel or a sponge or something like that. And I think it's starting to get a little dry, so I'm just going to go ahead and print it, and then I would try it again a little bit later. So maybe I'll do this one. I'm going to take this one, so I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to stick this on here. Whee! And then when I peel it up, you can see that the picture shows really good. So yeah, anyway,
I can't take it up.
those are some, you can use print block ink with it. You can use all kinds of different little, you know, template-y things to add resist. You can, as long as it's flexible and not pointy, I mean, you can draw on it with a Q-tip, or you can draw on it with one of these, or you can use like the plasticky little like scrapery things. And
Didn't spit out his
I mean, you could use your fingers if you want
That's
to.
gonna be how he does
So it's
it,
kind of
though.
fun.
Yeah.